Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. Welcome back to our page from Johanna Basford's Planner, and we are going to be working right away on the rocks. So let's come in a tad and have a look. It's looking quite scruffy at the moment, mine is, yours might not be, and my plan is to, I'm just going to grab the pencils I need. Right, I'm going to start with a darker one, so 73, and we're going to look at the areas where I feel need to be darker. So let's start at the top. Now, where this bush is here, look, we've got a little line. I think it'd be a bit of shadow there, and maybe a little bit around the bushes too. I'm not going to go around everything because it's too small, but just a few areas like that. And then here, I'm not going to go around each of those little tiny leaves there, that's just too much for me. And a little bit up there. Now this rock is quite interesting, got this line. I'm thinking this is maybe would be a bit of a shadow here and here, like that. Excuse me. And now we're running sort of down here, putting a shadow under this bit. It's like a little ledge, isn't it? And down there. And then we have the same going on here. I'm thinking that this rock is maybe in front of this big bit, and therefore needs a bit of shadow behind it. I'm still working quite roughly. Hopefully it'll all come together and make sense at the end. A bit here and here as well, and then also down there. Now this one always confuses me because it seems to just stop there. I'm not sure where it goes, but I think I'll just leave it like that. Now here, of course, we're inside a cave, so we need it to be darker inside. So we're going to do the whole of this in this darker colour. We may need to go even darker with this particular bit. We're going to fade it off towards the bottom though, because this bit, it feels like it's more comes towards us. So just making it darker at the top. And then fading it down a bit. Now we've got the little bubbles from the fish. We can do those in a white pen at the end if we wish, or just leave them either way. Right, my next colour is 49, and I'm going to use this to shape the edges because it looks quite flat. So if we put a bit of colour on these edges like this and then sort of scumble it in and fade it in, I feel that it just gives the whole rock face a bit more shape. It looks like there's a bit of shadow on the edge, which creates the impression that it's a bit more rounded, I think. So just going all around the edges like this. So sunny today again, but I'm feeling quite positive about it because it's not going to last. So we're very lucky actually. I think I'm going to just expand these bits a little bit with this colour too, so it sort of blends in a little bit like that. Maybe this too. Yes, because I know some countries have been having really record hot temperatures, and although I'm finding this quite hard, nothing like other countries, you know, some countries have air conditioning and things like that. We don't really have that here. My son was saying the other day, oh, all new builds have air conditioning. Like, no, they don't. I don't know where you're getting this information from, but they don't, not in the UK. If you design your own house, yeah, you can put air conditioning in it, but most new builds don't have it in, not as standard. They have the heat pumps in the more, some of them. You can see hopefully that it's looking a bit more interesting now. I'm gonna where should we go next? Yeah, I'm going to go back to the 16. This was our initial layer, and just try to go over everything a little bit and tidy it up. You know, by tidying up, I'm looking at the edges where we're coming close to these leaves and mushrooms and bushes, and where I haven't properly gone right to the edge, and where maybe the colour isn't as even, or that sort of thing, just to try and make it look a little bit better. You may find that yours looks fine. It doesn't need this sort of treatment. But personally, I think that bit now looks a lot better than this. And I'm going to continue down. My poor son's sniffing away. He has got a hanky though. I don't have to go off and get him one because he's feeling a bit dizzy. I don't want him rushing up and down the stairs too quickly if he needs things. So really I'm just going over everything again. Yeah, my sister's like, I know you've already voted. Of course, the elections are over by the time this comes out. I know you've already voted, but here's this thing that you can do to have a look at where you should vote. I'm like, it's a bit late now, isn't it? Yeah, I did a postal vote, so I voted early. Nice to get it over and done with. And then you can just sort of ignore what's going on in the press a little bit. I sort of had certain things and reasonings for voting certain ways, you know, and I think we all do. I think sometimes it's easy to get carried away with what's going on in the press about what the, you know, little things going on that aren't good. You know, like to pick out the things that aren't going well, or people have said things that are a bit silly or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, I think I need to concentrate on what's important for me and who is working with that best. The things that are most important to me, nobody seems to be mentioning very much at all. A few very vague things. So that's not persuaded me either way. But a few other things are quite important too. So I was able to make up my mind and think that I did the right thing. Last time I voted, I changed my mind at the last minute. And right, we're going to do a bit of work down here. Now, I'm thinking I've got this 11, and I'm going to do a sort of sandy type sea floor. It will blend nicely into the colour above. See, I'm holding the pencil quite far up and on its side, going side to side, and it's quite a nice, easy and relaxing method. Oops, I'm going to have to hold my book though, to colour this. It doesn't really take too long. Now, of course, the sand would probably not be in a stripy way like I'm colouring it. It would probably be more likely to be in little clumps or something. I don't know what sand under the sea looks like, to be honest. So maybe it would be. Don't know. But I'm going to put my hand that way because my arm's aching. Ooh. No, it's not even, and I don't think that matters because it wouldn't be even. But I might change my mind later and adjust it a little bit. But let's just get it done. Have a look at it and decide. Yeah, I think I find the election is quite nasty in a way because parties are just finding ways to criticise each other, and I really don't like that. What I want to know is, what will you change? What will you work on? What are your policies? I don't want to know what mistakes other people have made in the past, that sort of thing. I know that, you know. So a party that just spends its time picking fault with another party, or a candidate that just spends its time picking fault with another candidate, isn't good. I mean, they're all guilty of it to some extent. There we go. Now I'm going to do a little work on the island with this 11. See here where it's, I feel it needs tidying up a bit. And we can brighten a few areas like the centre of these columns. This area down here. There we go. Okay, now this cave I'm going to put a little bit more darker colour on. I'm just going to tidy up my pencils a minute, or else I'm going to get myself in a muddle. There we go. So I'm thinking I want to go quite dark, 77. Just put some sort of shadowy looking colour here. Now it's not going to go really dark because we've got all these layers of lighter colour. But just around this edges, just sort of scumble it in so it blends into the colour that's there already. Like that. There we go. Hopefully it looks like we're looking in. That's the idea anyway. Right, let's do some of these foliage down here. That'd be fun. Now I'm having a look and see, we've got some sort of long thin leaves here and we've got some here, so I think we'll do those the same as each other. Let's go for the, what do we, no. Let's go for this colour, I changed my mind. Let's go for the 52 for the base, oops sorry, and then we'll do a slightly different colour on the tip. So just sort of fade that off like that. I'm looking at these and wondering if they're supposed to be flowers. I can't remember how I coloured them before. Not that that should necessarily have any bearing on how I'm going to colour it today, but you know, sometimes you think, did it work last time? That sort of thing. I always try not to go back and look at what I did before until I finished. Sometimes I end up doing everything the same colour as I did before. I find that quite fascinating. But if you've looked, obviously then you're copying it. But if you haven't looked, then it's sort of unique. I mean, I guess some things tend to tell you what colour they want to be. Does that sound a bit weird? You know, grass. Can do it purple? Could do, but no. No. 56 for the tips. So I'm going to start the tip and then just blend all the way down. Well, colour all the way down. This is my favourite colour. My Ergosoft 56 is teeny weeny. But as I said yesterday, it's so nice to know that you're using your pencils. You know, that's what they're there for. if you don't use them, it's like having a Sunday dress that you never wear, you know, just enjoy it. Right, these ones I think we'll do next. Those I think I'm going to do different to those. Let's just grab a colour. This is the 551. I'm going to do these two. I'm just going to block them in because they aren't that big. If you noticed, I'm avoiding doing the buildings. I will do them. I've got no idea what colour. My mind is now thinking. It's quite interesting, isn't it, how we can put a question into our mind and it'll work on it in the background. There is some people that say you should write it down and put it by the bed, and then when you wake up, whether it be in the middle of the night or in the morning, you'll have the answer. It's an interesting idea, isn't it? I think your brain does work on things when you're asleep. So if I write down how can I magically get my bathroom repaired by the end of tomorrow, I'll have an answer. Probably not. Right, I am going to use this colour, the 579. I think we've used it on something, can't remember what. It's a sort of brownish green, olive maybe you would say. And this one the same. I don't think there are any more of these, so on the other side I'm going to use, I think we'll do those as flowers first. We'll use a sort of use this one. No, we use the 72. It's a sort of reddish brownish colour, which I think sort of matches in with what we've been doing. There's one. I'm trying to fade towards the tip of the petal, but not showing up. There we go. And then our leaves. Let's go with this one, the 55. Again, I'm going to try and fade them towards the tip. I'm not sure if it's going to show up. Oh, it will, because it's easier to do it with a darker colour. Yes, and normally it's a dot marking. You can hear a noise upstairs, the ceiling. Right. Now I think we'll do this tree next. Now where should we start? Let's start with the trunk. I'm going to use a light brown to start with. This is the 7. I'm just going to block it in, but not too hard, because I'm going to use another colour as well. I think this bit here is supposed to be a bit of the trunk as well. I hope you're liking the colour of this. I think it looks sort of like sandy rock, which I rather like the idea of. I'm going to use the 76 to do some work on the outline, so on the edges, making them a little bit darker. I find it gives it a bit more, I don't know, shape in quite a simple way. I might put a few lines because it's bark. Just do a little bit like that around the edges of those. There we go. Now I'm just going to get my hanky out and think about what colour to do our actual tree. Let's come in a bit closer. So I should come in closer before really, shouldn't I? There we go. I am thinking I am going to grab my 5 and I'm going to do the bushy bit first. Johanna's actually drawn some dots to show us where it should be a little bit darker near the bottom, which makes sense. I'm going to just put a little bit at the top like that. I'll grab another colour for the top. There we go, and I've got these little creepers to do as well. Just sort of taking notice of where Johanna's drawn a darker bit. A few little curvy bits. There we go. And then number 50 for the rest. So I'm going to start by going slightly over what's there already so that I can sort of blend it better. And then all round. Okay. Gosh, the sun has been shining all day. It's going to feel a lot hotter today. Yesterday it was warm but cloudy. The sun didn't come out till later in the day. But I have closed up the sunny side of the house, closed the windows, the vents and the curtains, which apparently you're supposed to do, stop the hot air coming in. If it was breezy, I would open it up because then we get the breeze through, but it isn't. So I'm just going to grab a this pencil. I don't know if it's going to show up very much. Number 12. I'm going to do a few little highlights on the top of some of our tufty bits. I think it's shown up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Makes me smile. Now we have these sort of droopy bits. I'm sure that's what they're called. Yeah, I'm going to use this. Grabbing my favourite. One of 57 or 56 is my favourite, but 57 is really similar. Just going to block them in. Is it funny how we have favourite colours? Why is that? Why do we have favourites? My dad loves green. He always has, ever since I was little. And everything he wants is always green. So in their sitting room they've got a green carpet, and in their bathroom, the green carpet they had done when I was still living at home, a long time ago. In their bathroom, which they've had done during lockdown actually, they've got a green wet room floor thing. You know, so more green. They used to have green furniture. He's got a green car. Oh, he hasn't now, he used to. He's got a second-hand car, so he couldn't choose. Now, should we do our underwater castle thing? Now, I often do this with a gold roof, gold dome sort of thing. I'm just grabbing my 16 to tidy that up. But I'm going to do it differently this time because we've got, this is quite yellowy, goldeny-ish. So I'm grabbing my 16 again. I can see bits that I've missed around here. So I'm not going to do it that colour. So what shall I do? Well, I was thinking maybe a browny red colour. I'm just looking in the camera and I can see where I've missed. It's much easier to see them with my eye. Even though the camera screen is smaller, it's quite strange. I have got some magnifying specs, maybe I should make more use of those. Anyway, just doing this bit. Sorry folks. Folks, we didn't really do much here, did we? Can't even see what I'm doing. Yeah, we didn't do a lot. Okay, right, let's do this. So I'm thinking a reddish brownish top. I think this colour might work. This is number 260. It's actually a sort of Tuscan red. I'm going to try and make it darker on the edges and then fade it in a bit towards the centre. So doing the same on each of them. I feel like I want an even darker colour for these bits underneath. So I'm going to do that as if it's a tip of one. I don't know if that is what it is. It is now. I wonder what sort of weather it is in this picture. I'm looking above the sea while I'm colouring this bit. Thinking, the sea doesn't look very choppy. It's probably calm. I don't think it's night time, so we might just want a blue sky. But we're not there yet, are we? So there's our roofs. Tried to make them lighter in the middle. Been more successful on that first one. It's a bit easier on the smaller ones, I think. Maybe that was a bit big. There we go. Now, I think I'll go for this. This is a bit more red, 27. Can I use this under here? I might use it on some of the other lines on the building. There seem to be windows, well there are windows. I'm trying to think, I guess they would have lights on. I've just realised we've got a gap here that I didn't colour. We'll sort that out in a minute. They would have lights on because they're underwater. It'd be quite dark, wouldn't it? Okay. Now I'm thinking the main building, I want it all to sort of match. So this colour, 722. I'm going to use it quite gently because I want it to be a paler colour. I like doing buildings so that the walls are a bit paler than the rest. What I'm wondering is whether those arches would be like windows or door frames with light through. I think that's how I'm going to do them. We'll do this door different colour. It's quite grand, isn't it, for an underwater palace? Who lives here? What do you reckon? Do you think the fish live in here? Frog? Mermaid? And put a darker bit under the roof lines. A bit darker there and here. And where they overlap. Just a little bit. Make them look slightly more three-dimensional. There we go. Right, so the next job is the windows. I'm wanting to do 11. It's quite a bright, vibrant colour. Will look nice and welcoming. Sharpening. the door. It's tempting to do it the same, the same colour as the roof. I think, no, I'm just going to go for this dark red colour, the 27. There we go. Now we've got this bit here. We're going to start with 16, which is what we've been using for all of our... Now this is a dipped in bit because it looks like the stones are tumbling out. So I'm going to go straight in there with, with number 7 and darken it, particularly on the edges. Oh, that's a nice colour. Nice and warm. There we go. I think that's dark enough. I think so. There we are. Right, I am going to stop there because I'm going to go and grab my coffee. There's still a fair bit to do, so we can come back tomorrow and do some more. So we've got obviously the other building. I'm going to keep those colours that I did this one. I might use the same colours for that building because I think I rather like it. We've obviously got our boat, and then we have to finish our background. So we've got our sky to do and our sea. Yeah, as I say, I've got some ideas for what to do with the sea. 2 different ideas, so I'll decide between them. I think I know what I'm going to do, but anyway, we'll find out. And yes, I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Thank you so much for watching. Have a super Tuesday. Please do like, subscribe and comment. Let me know what your favourite colour is. I'd love to know. Anyway, thanks for watching and happy colouring.